story time of how I met a DL rapper and he was married. So this is part 3 or part 2 to the entire situation. So this is gonna really, I think, sum it up for me because um, I don't think nothing else really happened after this, or that's what I thought. Because in 2022 of March, the end of March, I had like a after I met him. Right, mind you, I still had to go to work at 8:30. When I saw him, it was like 6:21, 6:20, somewhere around that area. Because I remember because I immediately screenshotted a picture of Doja Cat. Catch it. I screenshotted a picture of Doja Cat in my phone immediately when I saw him because I like to, in my mind, I like to have screenshots of like days to remember certain things and what I was going through at the time. So when I met him, I gave him this whole spiel of what I wanted and what I didn't want and the type of person I am and the boundaries that I set for myself and what I would allow and what I wouldn't allow, right? Quick, very, very bluntly, very fast, because mind you, we were in the middle of the fucking street. So you got to take that into consideration, like how fast this interaction happened. But it wasn't fast enough because I still was having banter with the person and going back and forth, right? So after I met him, went to the store, got my groceries, went back to my dorm, and I broke down crying, like asking, like, God, why me? What is the reason? Why was I chosen for this? Yada yada yada. Break it down, crying. But eventually, I said, let me get myself together and let me go to work because I had to go to work at 8:30. So I ordered my Uber, got in the Uber, went, and that day I quit working at Wendy's because I felt like I had so much more potential to get to where I wanted to go um, at the time than where I was, right? So I got off at 3 o'clock no, I got off I think at 1:20 that day. And the reason why I got off 1:20 was because one of the machines stopped working at Wendy's, one of the fryers, and they had to clean the fryers because they clean it like every Wednesday, every Thursday there. What they used to anyway. And I left and I lay down, woke up and forgot about it, right? I wasn't thinking anything about that situation because mind you, I thought it was a dream. I didn't think it was something real. And what people don't know is like when you meet somebody of a higher caliber than you, or you meet like an extraterrestrial, if you ever do encounter extraterrestrial, or someone that is of higher status than you in this general public or this general collective, you either feel like an excitement or shock or surprise because you automatically go into deeming that this person is better than you, or deeming that this person is has more knowledge than you. So you look up to this person as if you can learn something from them in a way. And that's kind of what I did with Homeboy, right? So after this, I might put in like screenshots and stuff, but on let me look. Okay, so in 2022 April, right, the end of April, there was a specific album that was released, and I listened to this artist, right? So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna listen to the artist, call it a day or whatever, whatever. Then I seen the person's name up there, and I was like, oh, let me go tune into them because, mind you, the entire time since 2021, I was listening to this person's music, but I was trying to understand this person at the same time while listening to their music, because if you listen to their music, they say a lot of stuff that could just go over your head very quickly. So I ended up saying like listening to the song, and it was a part in there that reminded me of what was going on the day that I met him, and um, he said something that was like dissing kind of me, and I was like, huh? Like, because he said something along the lines of, is like I'm evidence or something, like it's proof that whatever, whatever, because I'm here, right? So I'm like, am I tripping or am I tripping? And so I left that alone and stopped and ignored that. And then come, I would say June of 2022, I ended up hearing a song on the radio and it being released. And when I listened to it, I said, huh, this is interesting. This sounds like something I would do. Like, this sounds like something that would make me, like I would say in the shower, because a lot of times, if you look on my old TikToks, at the time, I was always in the shower, always in the bathroom, making up songs. And I was like, ooh, this sounds like something that I would do. Mind you, I ain't think nothing of it, right? After that. So when I got to that point, I was like, huh, interesting, coincidences happen, whatever the case may be. Then comes the end of July, if I'm not mistaken, or the end of June. There was an album by an artist that dropped, right? And then he dropped his album. And I listened to the first person's album. When I listened to the first person's album, I was like, oh, okay, like, the first person on the song was Homeboy. So I'm like, okay. I'm listening to it, and he's still saying little snippets of stuff that happened between me and him when I met him. And I'm like, that's weird. So I go to his album. Now, the first song on his album is a diss or a snippet of him saying something about what happened in the situation that was between me and him. So I'm like, right? So around the end of the month, a particular artist by a major female celebrity comes out. And another artist decides to release the same day that this artist released. Now, if you watch 1.5, you know exactly where I'm going with this, right? So when this all happened, I listened to the man's album, and it was, to me, what I depicted from it was a man who was cloaked or who was covered under a facade or a mask, and he only presents it to people that he deems to be worthy. And he expressed it in the album, and in the album it just is like a coming out album. It's like I do what I want, but I also am very subjugated to what is going on by the general collective or the general mass public, right? Now, when I heard this album, I'm like, okay, this sounds like somebody is gay, basically, and they don't want to tell nobody. But I'm not putting two and two together. I'm just, listening to the music because I'm a music connoisseur. I love music. And when that happened, I just I let it slide, went on about my day. And I personally started releasing music. Now, the reason why I started releasing music was because me and my friend had a joke in a car about something, right? And I don't mean to bring her in this, but she's probably not going to see this. But me and my friend had a joke in a car. And I was like, we made a joke about it in the car the other day. And I was thinking about her when I was making a beat. And I was like, wouldn't it be like funny to make something out of kind of nothing so we can remember and look back on it like, ha ha ha, you remember when you did this kind of thing, right? So I did that, and then I was like, I actually like how making music works. So I want to focus on that when it comes to my music. I want to focus on how it works and whatever. Learn the technical side of music, which I kind of already did because I went to school for that. I just never had it put in action, right? So fast forward to December. No. Fast forward to the beginning of, let's fast forward to sometime in the beginning of July, before we skip to December. There was a song came out, and it was very interesting because I asked him, did he fuck with a particular artist? Because if you don't, what's rule number 2? Rule number 2 is fuck his best friends and make them yes men, right? Catch it. Because we don't fuck with clowns, right? And this is